The meaning of life is to find your gift. Now, the purpose of life is to give it away. Pablo Picasso said that, and it's one of the core quotes and beliefs that I have that helped me to start to develop what I call the GIVER method. Now, I talk a lot about that throughout Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it may be, and I want to make sure that I break down for you what exactly the GIVER method is. Now, GIVER's an acronym. Now, as we break it down, I want you to be thinking about how that could show up for you. So G is for gift. Now, we're identifying that as your gift, your superpower, taking those talents, skills, things that are uniquely you, and how do we develop them into being superpowers so that we can become a gift giver? How do we develop those in that way that we can give it away, right? So then the I, it stands for influence. We need to then identify who is in our sphere of influence. Who, if I were to develop these superpowers, who would it be best for me to serve with them? And when I do that, how do I make it intentional and impactful influence? Now, the V stands for value. It's one of the most core principles that as you're taking your gifts and superpowers to the right people, that you deliver the right value to them without asking for anything in return. Now, we want that to be so crisp, clean, like that they see it. They can tell that that's what you're doing. We call it vivid value. How do we make that value just so clear to them? The E is for engagement. Now, believe it or not, some people get awkward when they start to be like, hey, I've got this superpower, let me give it to you. So we want to help you to have effective and eager engagements. Eager being that people are excited to work with you. They're excited to show up and talk to you. They, in every single engagement, how are we being that, once again, intentional and impactful as we're interacting with them? Now, the R, it's the first primary outcome that comes from becoming a giver, and that stands for relationship results. Some people refer to it as relationship riches. How do I enrich the relationships that I have? There's going to be a result that comes from that. It may be improved relationship with your spouse or parent or children, siblings, co-workers, boss, whatever it may be. But relationships improve when we take our gifts, superpowers, and we give them without asking for anything in return in the right engagements. The relationships around us improve. Now, big picture, I like to say that when you do that, take gifts and superpowers and give without asking for anything in return, that's where the universe finds ways to pay you back. Now, you could look at that in any way. You could look at the universe paying you back as a spiritual thing. You could look at it as a karma thing, as a whatever. But it is true. Every person I talk to who becomes a giver and wants to make an impact on the world, when they do that, the universe just has a way of paying them back. They find improved relationships. They find that clients come out of the woodworks that they wouldn't have expected. They find promotions within their job, whatever that may be. So I want to encourage you to become a giver so that you can become an impact maker. Now, you can check us out at thegivermethod.com. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, as we produce videos and we produce content and put them out and helping people to find those gifts and superpowers and develop them through this method so that it's something that they can continue to work on throughout life. Because guess what? The gifts and superpowers that you develop today may not be the ones that best serve you in the future. So it's a constantly evolving thing. That's why it's called a method. So join me if you'd like to. Subscribe, follow, like, whatever the thing may be. I would love for you to comment. What is your gift or superpower? What's the one that you know is already inside of you? I'd love to hear it, and we will see you next time.